Yo, yo, I'm so sorry, everyone. But my boy Alex, he hooked me up, so I think I'm good. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear me. All right. Sweet. All right, let me set one more thing up, and then we'll get back on it. All right. So, and by the way, if you guys want to like this stream, just make sure you hit the X and yeah, on your phone, and then you should be able to see the like button. So, all right. Cool, cool, cool. So, gotcha. All right, so I was answering a question before about if I'm gonna renew or not, and so I don't know if the person that asked it is still in here, but let me go ahead and finish answering that. So, um, decided not to renew my contract with Epic. I am an Epic teacher, so I teach English, and that's how I came to Korea. But I decided not to renew, and there are several reasons for that, which I'll get into shortly. But I do plan on moving to Seoul. I currently live in Daejeon, so I do not plan on renewing for a second year to teach at least full time. And so I've got some really exciting plans that I want to share with you guys pretty soon. And so I will not be renewing. Let's see here. Is the audio a little better? Says it sounds staticky. Okay, nice, nice. Still a little static in the background. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Okay, awesome, awesome. Okay, so let's see. Elaine, what are some favorite desserts in Korea that I enjoy? Um, I really like bread. So bread is really popular here. There's a lot of Korean bakeries, but it's a lot of like Western style. Let's see, Dia. Dia, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Hey Tina. Hey Duke. How much money would you say that someone would need to save before moving to South Korea? So, um, hard for me to say. I mean, it depends on your situation. But so if you're coming over to be an English teacher, for example, um, you probably don't need to save too much. I mean, it really depends on what your responsibilities are back home, right? Like, for example, for me, I have some bills I got to pay with like some of the accounts that I have currently, and also some student loans. And so for me, I need to make sure that I have enough to just cover all of that. But when you come over as an English teacher, say with the EPIC program, or you come over as a Hagwon teacher, most of the time you're going to have your housing covered, and you're going to have very minimal expenses. So I would say just have enough for at least 1 month to be 1 month ahead to have that saved up because you're not going to get your first paycheck for the first. I think we got ours maybe 6 weeks in or so, and plus at least give a $500 US dollar deposit for my place that I'm staying in, just to kind of for them to hold. So uh, I don't know, to stay on the safe side, about a month to 2 months is even better worth of expenses. And so I would make sure I have that saved up. Cool. Tina, where were you stationed? How do you navigate the language barrier on dates? uh, well, I haven't been on a date yet, to be honest with you, so I can't really answer that. But I do have a lot of Korean friends, and I mean, I can speak to them in Korean. It's my Korean isn't the best, but I can hold down a conversation in Korean. So I have a few Korean friends that are not super comfortable speaking English, or their English is not as strong, and so the Korean tends to be the dominant language. And so yeah, it's fine. I think at least with me, if there's something that I don't know how to say, maybe in a full sentence, I'll use Konglish, or I'll kind of mix Korean and English together. And so typically it's usually fine. And worst case scenario, I'll whip out my phone and go to Naver Dictionary. And yeah, but for me, no major issues there. So I can communicate with people whenever I'm hanging out with them. So as far as dates, I'll let you know once I go on one. Let's see. Camp Casey. Oh, cool, cool, cool. Very nice. Why is it that Epic, and let's see, small teachers only teach for 1 year and not renew? Why do you think it's common amongst everyone? Let's see. A lot of teachers do renew. I don't know what the numbers are, the stats are, but I think it really depends on a lot of different factors. You know, a lot of people come here to Korea and they come to teach and they have certain expectations. Um, and to be fair, no one really knows what to expect, right? You kind of come over and you're wishing for the best. And you know, some people come over for different reasons. Like my reason for coming is totally different than my friends who came. Some people come with the intent of staying here for a few years. Others, they just want to come to Korea and just have maybe a year break from whatever they were doing. Maybe they're in a transition period in their life. And so there's many different reasons. And then some people come over and they realize that teaching is not for them, or maybe they're having a hard time adapting to Korea. And all of that is totally fine. And so I think everyone has their reasons for not renewing. But I think right now is kind of the season for, at least for my intake, all the teachers that came along with me, they're either they have to decide whether they're going to renew or not. And so a lot of my friends are, you know, they're having their, I guess what they call like renewal or contract signing, contract renewal ceremonies. And so a lot of them decided to stay a second year, which is pretty cool. And again, for me, my story is a little different because I actually came over with the intent of not teaching for a long time. And the reason is because before I even came over, yes, I wanted to teach, but I also have other dreams and aspirations that I want to pursue and accomplish. And, you know, I want to do that as soon as possible. So, you know, finally, luckily, I'm in a position where, you know, I have the option of not having to teach. And what helps is the fact that I have a proper visa for me to be able to stay here and to work different jobs, or to even not work if I wanted to. So that's been very, very helpful. Are there many African Americans teaching English in Korea? I think there are a good handful of African Americans that are teaching English here. Also, blacks from Canada and some from the UK. But as far as you know, compared to maybe some of the other, I know there's a good handful, and I think there's a big community. I've mentioned it in one of my videos before, like in Daegu, I've noticed there's a good population of, just blacks. And so it's really cool because they seem to have, their connection there. In Daejeon, where I'm at, there's not a whole lot of African Americans from what I know or from who I've met, but there are a handful. So yeah, it's not like there's no African Americans here. So there's a good handful. Jackie, finishing up your last 2 years, you can do it. You can do it. So yeah, it's definitely worth coming over. Definitely worth coming over and experiencing. Let's see, Emily, do you have to teach a winter camp since your school is different from a normal public school? That's a good question. To that, simply yes, I do, but I teach camps throughout the year. So another thing is EPIC teacher, and EPIC teachers are placed in regular public schools. And my man, trying to be sneaky. Appreciate it. So yeah, EPIC teachers are placed in regular public schools, and they usually teach elementary and middle school. And for me, I got placed in a one-off situation where I'm placed at an English camp. So I don't even teach at a regular public school. So my institute it's an English camp where we bring in public school students 1 week at a time from different schools in Daejeon, and we have a 1 week intensive English immersion program for them. And so those are technically camps that we teach, and the camps that we teach is different from the camps that regular normal EPIC teachers teach. They tend to teach 2 camps a year, I believe, maybe 4. But yeah, so I just finished the camp this past week, and next week I don't have a camp, but in January I have 4 camps in a row, which is going to be crazy. So yeah, my situation is interesting, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Emily. All right, so now I have a laptop in front of me. It's going to be easier for me reading these comments. So let's see here. All right, Jackie, that's a good question. Would you recommend learning some of the basics of the Korean language before applying? Absolutely, absolutely. The more Korean that you know, the easier your transition is going to be. Not to say that your transition will be difficult if you don't know any Korean, but obviously you're moving to a country where the main language is not English, and so anything that you can learn would be good. And also knowing the basics of Korean will be helpful when you're communicating with some of the locals, because a lot of them will appreciate that. I think a lot of locals here, they are used to a lot of foreigners not really knowing how to speak Korean, and so a lot of locals tend to get shocked when you even say like the most basic thing. When you say hello in Korean, 안녕하세요, they'll say, oh my gosh, you speak Korean so well. So I think that will go a long way, because they're going to appreciate that effort that you take into trying to learn how to communicate with them. So, but it's not a requirement. It's not necessary. I have some friends that can't really speak Korean outside of just the basics, and they're fine. They're fine. Korea has a lot of places that's very English friendly. So especially the bigger cities. So you'll be fine. But I do encourage you, once you get here, to try to learn the language, as you're staying in Korea. I think that'll be very helpful. Let's see here. So what's the life update? I'll tell you in a second. I have several. It's nothing like grand or spectacular, but it's pretty exciting. Let's see, Dia, how difficult is it to get the type of visa that you have? I have an F visa. So when I first came over, I came over with an E2 visa, which is the visa that the public schools and even the Hagwons, they sponsor E2 visas. And so basically that allows you to come over and to teach English for public schools and even Hagwons or private academies. And I came over with that, but I was able to switch over to my F visa, and specifically F4, which is, I guess I guess the best way to put it is like overseas Korean visa. It's also known as the Gyopo visa. And so I was able to switch over to that because my mom is Korean. And, I had all the right documentation. They were able to verify that she used to live here many, many years ago. And so I was able to get that really within 2 hours, which was pretty cool. So it wasn't that difficult for me to get it when I moved here. Now, I tried to get it when I was in the States working with the Korean consulate, and that was extremely difficult. And needless to say, I wasn't able to be successful with that because I had to come over with an E2. So for me, in my situation, it was fairly easy. I just had to have all the right documentation. So, have you run into any of the military personnel? I'm assuming you're referring to maybe the U.S. military. Yes, when I'm in Seoul, I tend to see a lot of military guys. Not necessarily in uniform, but a lot of them I can spot out because I grew up in Fort Bragg. So I know military guys when I see them, especially when they're in groups. You can kind of tell, mostly based on their haircut and just sometimes how they're acting. So if you guys are from a military town, you might know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I've run into them. I've spoken to them here and there. Korean military, I see Korean guys who are currently serving in the military. They're in their uniforms, so I see them all the time. Literally, literary lady. I thought I said literally lady. Literary lady, do you consider South Korea home now, or do you still feel connected to Fayetteville? Did you and your mom get to go to her old neighborhood during her visit? I do consider South Korea my home in a sense of not like hometown home. That's always going to be Fayetteville, and that's always going to be the States. There's always that special connection to my hometown. But I do feel at home here, if that makes sense. So I feel super comfortable here. I feel like I transitioned really quickly, and I'm still enjoying my time here. And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And I can say that because I felt the same way when I moved from North Carolina to New Jersey, and I stayed there for 5 years. And all 5 years, I felt like that was kind of my new home, and it never got old for me. And me living here in Korea is even more exciting for me. So I think I'll feel this way for a long time. But when my mom was here, we actually did not go to her part of Seoul that she was born in. That would have been nice, but we did go to a lot of areas where she remembers like growing up, and she remembers going to with her friends, and so that was really cool. And she would just point out, oh, we used to walk here and we used to do this. And for those of you guys that saw my video with my mom, she mentioned a lot about Myeongdong, and that was the hot place for her back in the 70s. And so when we went to Myeongdong, we must have went probably, I want to say at least 3 times, or actually more, because we stayed in Myeongdong for 3 days before she left. And so every time we walk around, she would remember like different places. And there's this one hotel that she kept mentioning to me her whole trip here, and she was like, oh, I must not be here anymore. I forgot the name of it, but we literally walked by it, and like it's still there. And she was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy after like 40 plus years. So yeah, I think the next time she comes, I want to push us to actually visit her old neighborhood and see how much of that has changed and see if she remembers anything. That would be so cool. But we didn't really have a lot of time. We wanted to get some touristy stuff in too. So let's see. Favorite Korean food is samgyeopsal. Easy. So that's pork belly, and the barbecued version is my favorite. Easy, easy, easy. Is it due to the base being in Daegu, referring to the military? Yeah, I believe so. That might have a part of it, but that's just me assuming. I'm not sure. So let's see here. Dimitri, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? See, Elisa, I plan on staying 5 or 6 years. Cool. Would you say teaching is a good way to get your foot in the door for other opportunities when teaching in Korea? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's how most foreigners who get into other stuff here, and Alex, who's making coffee over there and it's smelling so good. I think he can attest as well. Now, Alex is a perfect example, my buddy, because he came over, what, 9 years now? Yeah, 9 years, and he came over as an English teacher, and now he's doing radio. He's been on Korean TV, and he's got a lot of cool stuff going on, and he's very well known in the community here as one of the foreigners that are doing awesome things. And so he's just one example of many who come over as an English teacher. So for me, I got my foot in the door as an English teacher as well, and so hopefully I'll get into doing some cool stuff like Alex. Yeah, so I think it's a good way to get your foot in the door. And for those foreigners who are planning on or wanting to do other things here in Korea, whether it be, for example, in entertainment, or if it's to work another job or to work at a Korean company, yeah, teaching is a good way to get your foot in the door because you get the right visa to be able to come here. And depending on where you teach, the job won't be too crazy, and you can focus on doing other things. There are some English teachers who come over and they teach for elementary school, middle school, and they end up doing a master's program here, either at a university here or online. And then that way, once they finish that, they'll have more opportunities to teach maybe at a university. And there are some university positions that are pretty sweet deals for these teachers. I mean, they get paid well, they get a lot of vacation time, a lot of freedom. So yeah, coming here to teach opens up the door, and plus you get experience to the culture and you get to see how things work here. So that is a very good question. And again, that's something that I'm doing. Just got my foot in the door. Now, I'm ready to do some damage here. So how long are the camps, Tina asks? So elementary camps are from Tuesday through Friday, so 4 days. And then middle school camps are Monday through Friday. And the camps are, so the general hours are 9 to 9, honestly. And so we have a couple of different English teachers that we switch off as far as staying overtime. And that's another thing is with this institute that I'm at, when we have camps, I work like crazy hours. Now the average EPIK teacher teaches, I think, 22 hours. They're supposed to teach 22 class hours. But I'm in the 30-something plus hours, and so yeah, I have to work a lot of overtime during camps, which is good for my paycheck. But it's a lot of hours, so sometimes I'll have to stay till 9, 1 or even 2 times a week. So 9 to 9, which is quite crazy. So yeah. See, 태전 살기 괜찮아요? 재윤. Oh yeah, so Jaeyoon is saying I'll translate. So Jaeyoon is asking if it's how is it living in Daejeon, and also even though he's Korean, he's never been to Daejeon. So Daejeon is pretty good, I think. A lot of people, you'll hear Korean people say that Daejeon is a boring city. And it depends on what you're comparing it to. If you compare it to Seoul, yeah, Daejeon is quite boring, but Daejeon is very convenient. It's a big enough city where you have all the conveniences of shopping, restaurants, even entertainment. You have a good nightlife area, which is kind of where I live. And so you have everything there. The subway system is super simple, super easy. There's only one line, so it's easy to use the subway system. You can never get lost. It's just 2 directions. Yeah, I think it's very comfortable. I'm gonna miss living in Daejeon because I plan on moving soon. But it's so convenient, so comfortable, and it's not overcrowded. So yeah, living in Daejeon is quite convenient and I like it. I like it. Okay, let's see. I know you're a teacher, Skylar. I like your name, Skylar. I know you're a teacher, but I'm going to be studying abroad in Seoul, South Korea for the summer, and was wondering if you have any helpful advice for me. So if you're going to study abroad, let's see, in the summer, without knowing you or your situation, I would say general piece of advice is come with an open mind, because again, I don't know where you're from, Skylar, but it's probably going to be different. Just how society is and how people are here generally, it's probably going to be a little different than what you're used to. So just come with an open mind, knowing that you're stepping into a different culture, and it's not a bad thing. And also, I'm not sure where your Korean language level is, but kind of like I mentioned earlier, the more you know, the better it is. And so, I would encourage you to study as much as you can before you get here, but you don't have to feel that pressure to like be super fluent. You'll be fine without it. So, and then when you get here, try to make Korean friends and connect with a few good people. I think that'll make your time here a little bit easier. Murr Galaxy, you are talented as a photographer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just got into photography really. I was so crazy because I bought a super expensive camera like late as actually. Yeah, I gave myself a Christmas gift, a huge Christmas gift last year of a really good camera, and I bought it with an intent to shoot video with it, but it's a really good like photography camera. So I just kind of naturally fell into photography as well, and so I even watch a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of photographers and see how they shoot things, and so I learned a lot just by watching YouTube videos and then just going out and practicing. So I really appreciate that. I'm hoping to get better as a photographer. I like doing street photography, landscape photography, and also hopefully I'll get into portraits. So yeah, thank you. Let's see, Kat. So you went to Seongnam, Seoul, Sokcho in September for a trip. You fell in love. Didn't want to leave. Yeah, it's crazy. I hear that a lot for people, especially when they come to visit Korea. They and the same thing happened for me. The first time I ever visited Korea was in 2012, and I literally fell in love. That's when I knew that I wanted to come here. Was in 2012. It only took me 5 years to get here, but yeah, that's really cool. I'm very glad that you enjoyed your time. It's really cool. Let's see. 대전 살기 진짜 좋아요. Yes, I agree, Sophia. I agree. Let's see. All right, just going through your comments. I wanna get caught up, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I've got going on. So I'm very excited, and you guys feel free to ask more questions or leave comments. See, journey awaits. I'm going to graduate high school in 2 years. I would like to get a full ride scholarship to study abroad in Korea. Do you know the process of that? Unfortunately, I don't know anything about like university and let alone scholarships, getting scholarships to come here. I don't know if you know anything about that.
Tell them to search KGSP, Korean Government Scholarship Program. KGSP.
So I don't know if you heard that, but Alex says to search KGSP, Korean Government Scholarship Program.
You get 1 year studying Korean language, and then you go to a 4-year program or a grad school for free, and they pay stipend.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, Journey Awaits. You better check that out. So
repeat that.
Yeah. So
4 semesters for free.
4 semesters for free.
And then they have an undergrad and a grad school scholarship, and you go for free with stipend and housing.
Wow, that's incredible. So I guess she would just have to qualify.
It's competitive,
competitive, of course.
Learn Korean, boost your specs.
Okay.
Do it.
Gotcha. Yeah. So look that up, Journey Awaits. That sounds like a really good program. I wish I would have known that.
Me too.
That's crazy.
I could have paid for grad school.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. Did you take any education courses, or is it recommended? Education courses? I'm assuming an undergrad? No, I didn't. I have like nothing about my undergrad degree had anything to do with education. So I got a psychology degree, and yeah, very random. But to teach here is not required to have a specific degree. It helps to have an education degree. You will likely probably get a boost in pay or more opportunities, or you'll have an advantage over people who don't, but it's not a requirement. So you just gotta Just make sure your resume looks good, and then kill them during the interview. Kill them in a good way. Let's see. During my stay in Korea, I noticed that their dialect is distinct. What do you mean by that? Let's see. Worked with Korean KAT USAs when I was in the military. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Ray B, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys who watch my videos and who subscribe. I really do appreciate it. Let's see. Mika. Oh, there's two Mikas. Let's see. Mika says your mom was sweet to watch. Be sure to get her plenty of street food next time. Yeah, thank you so much. So let me tell you something. When my mom was here, like, number one, she's like the funniest woman in the world, and she doesn't try to be like, she's just her and she's just being normal, but she keeps me cracked up. So like when she was here, and if you guys saw my video and just me capturing some of her reactions, she just was just speechless. And like that literally happened almost every time we went to Seoul and Myeongdong, and she was just kind of just breathless and like speechless, and just like it was funny. And I think the biggest shock for her was all the food, right? She was just freaking out at all the food. She would just like buy stuff just to buy it. So like she wanted corn, she wanted sweet potatoes, she wanted chestnuts, she wanted hotdog, which is like a Korean pancake. She wanted that. And like she would just keep buying it. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like she's gonna get sick. So I think she just had that nostalgic feeling of, man, this is all the stuff I used to grow up eating. And she doesn't have easy access, I'll say, to that in the States where she's living now. So that was really cool. It's really cool. Yo, George Stout, my big bro just popped in the chat. What's going on, George? So this is my older brother, George. So it's good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so let's see. How difficult would you say for a foreigner with no Korean ties to be granted permanent residency? A little difficult, from what I understand, but not impossible at all. It just takes a great deal of work. So let's see, permanent residency would probably be like some form of an F visa for a foreigner. And there are other types of visas that you can get. There's I think different visas for if you just want to start a business. There's visas like entertainment visas if you're in the entertainment industry. But the permanent residency, those type of visas for a foreigner with no Korean ties, you would need to. There's a point system that is set up to where you have to accomplish certain things and gain points. And if you have a certain amount of points, then I think at that point you would qualify for permanent residency. But you would need to basically, they want to see a few things. They want to see if you've acclimated to Korean culture. They want to see that you're going to add value in some way to the society, or at least you won't take away any value. So they want to make sure that that you are serious about being a permanent resident here. And so a lot of times people will need a certain level of Korean knowledge. You would need to have lived here for a certain amount of years. And I think they also look at how long you've worked here doing, different things. And so again, Alex, my buddy, he has permanent resident. Well, he has an F visa, so he had to go through the process, and it wasn't easy for you, right?
Number one thing people don't do is they don't long-term plan when they come to Korea. Start your planning. Plan for this early. Find the classes, find the courses, figure out what you need. But it takes a lot of planning and immigration trips.
Right. The fun immigration trips. Yeah, so it's not easy, but I think the biggest thing is just putting a little bit of effort and time, right? So time is gonna have to be your friend when it comes to getting that. So yeah, do your research like Alex says, and kind of plan and prepare ahead of time if that's something you're into. Fatima from Atlanta, what's going on? Literary lady, I can spot them too. Referring to the military, right? The military guys, yep. Gumby, is this a K-pop stream? I don't know how you found it. I'm glad you're here. It is not specifically a K-pop stream, but I do like K-pop. This is probably more generally Korean culture type of stream, and so glad you're here though. All right, we've got 77 people watching. What is going on, everyone? Let's see, D18 I can't say it. Zephyr. Hi, Seti. How are you? I am doing well, thank you. I'm fine, thank you. If you ask any Korean student here, hi, how are you? All of them, they're gonna say, I'm fine, thank you. But let's see. How old am I? Should play the guessing game. I think a lot of you guys know how old I am, but I've gotten used to saying my Korean age, so I just say I'm 34. So in Korea, I'm 34, but I was born in 1985 in February, so technically I'm 33 years old. Do I have a girlfriend? No, I do not yet, but I am open. Yeah, bro, George. This is actually my first time going live, and so I really appreciate the comment. I love you too. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Alyssa, Megan Bowen did do the point system, and I think she just got her permanent residency as well. Yep, you're right. So, and I think you can kind of see how she said she was like studying for hours. She did like a language program, and she's been here for I think just as long as or not as long as Alex, but she's been here for like 6-7 years. So she just got hers. So it's possible. So Gary Palmer, how long will it take to gain all those points to get the citizens? I'm assuming you mean permanent residency. I'm not sure how long it take you, Alex.
It was my third year. It was the end of my third year that I got it, and I planned for 2 years. But I started studying the moment I stepped into Korea.
Okay.
And you need that to get through the government program that you need for like 10 points. So 2 years of hard work, and you can get it. You must have a visa for 1 year straight, the same visa.
Gotcha. Hopefully you guys heard that. So let's see, baby. Watch your video with We Fancy. So I checked out your channel. Your videos are good. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was a fun video that we did with We Fancy. And so those guys are crazy if you're not aware. So I think a lot of you guys probably know who We Fancy is. If you don't, just look up We Fancy on YouTube and check them out. They're one of the foreigner YouTubers here that bring quality content, and they've done a lot of great stuff as far as like showing different aspects of Korea and doing it in an honest way. So I think it's definitely worth you guys checking out. So how long will you stay in Korea after teaching? So Tina, I do plan on staying in Korea long term. So as of right now, I don't have any plans of going back to the States. Of course, you never know what can happen, but right now I'm living my life here and trying to set things up to where I can stay here on a permanent basis. And so that's the current plan now. And again, I'll in a few minutes, as soon as I get caught up, I want to talk about some of my life updates and some of my plans.
Just messing with your background for fun.
That's cool, man. Oh, Alyssa, are you 85 as well? What? Yes. Yep, I'm 33 years old. 33 years old. So how do you plan to get into music scene as a psych degree, with a psych degree? I heard in Korea it's hard to get a job that's outside your degree unless it's teaching. I'm a psych degree too and want to branch out from teaching. Very good question. Yes, generally speaking, if you want opportunities here, and this applies to especially for native Koreans, yeah, you are in a sense locked into like whatever you decide to study in university and whatever your degree is. You're kind of like trapped into that, unfortunately, for the most part, as far as like your job opportunities. So if you're, for example, if you have a education degree, if you went to school for education, you're kind of stuck into only opportunities as it pertains to education and teaching. And so, but like for me, it's a little different because a lot of what I want to do is more on an independent basis. And when it comes to getting into music and some of the other things that I want to get into, I want to do it more so on an independent basis rather than knocking on SM's door or hitting up JYP or whatever and just like, yo, I want to work as a producer for your company. Hey, I'm open to that. I think that would be an interesting experience, but I want to do things more so on a independent basis. So I don't really know what my plan is yet because I want to fill out just how things work here. And it's been hard for me to focus on music this past year, but next year is the year for me to get back into that, to get my feet wet. And that's part of the plans that I have. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I just got to get back into producing. It's been years since I really focused on it, but yeah. So I've got some interesting plans with that. So. You have the same first name and date of birth as my husband. Wow, that's cool. Let's see. What's your experience doing Epic in your 30s? I'll be 32 when I get there. I'm assuming you're coming with the Epic program. For me, it's, I don't know. I think I'm kind of young at heart. So like a lot of my friends I'm used to having friends that are a few years younger than me at this point. So I just kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm just part of the crowd. So I don't feel like I stand out. I don't feel like I'm any older than anyone. And I think most of my friends that I came in with through the Epic program, they're mostly in their mid-20s, some of them in their late 20s. So I don't know. I just kind of feel like part of the crowd, part of the group. As far as teaching in the actual, I guess, institute, for me, the institute, but in a school, I think it's quite normal. I think a lot of the teachers and the younger teachers who are starting to teach, they're in their late 20s and they're in their early 30s. And so for me, I don't feel out of place or anything. I feel quite normal. So. Kalebird95, you're so welcome. I really appreciate all your comments too. Your comments are very well thought out, and so I appreciate you as well. How do I plan properly for staying in Korea as a foreigner? Again, going back to the language, try your best to learn the language and the culture, but having an open mind. I can't stress that enough because I think a lot of foreigners come in here, and I'm not bashing them, but I've already noticed that a lot of foreigners, they come in with seeing Korea and Korean culture and Korean people and how they do things through their Western mindset, and it just doesn't work. I mean, there are a lot of elements of Korean culture and how they do things that have become westernized, but deep rooted is still that Eastern. There's still a lot of Eastern culture and Eastern roots, I guess you can say. So so if you can just have that open mind and try to see things through the lens of how Korean people see it, then I think your experience would be a lot less stressful, and you'll be able to connect with people a little better. And so so I definitely encourage you to do that. And again, try to make friends when you're here and try to, you'll have your foreign friends and you need that because you need that outlet, but then try to have Korean friends because they're going to help you acclimate to Korean culture, I think, a little bit better. So definitely encourage you to do that. Emily, haha, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm fine, thank you. They could be having the worst day, and you ask the Korean students, "How are you doing?" They're just like kind of conditioned to say, "I'm fine, thank you." So that's kind of their textbook style of learning and how they've started to learn English. So. See, have you met any ESL Epic YouTubers that are in Korea yet? Yeah, I've met a handful actually. And for some of them, I haven't actually met in person, but we've connected on social media. So let me see. Actually, last night I met Isha Homegirl. I met her last night for the first time. I had an event that I went to, and so we met for the first time. But we have been following each other's videos for a little while. Also, Abby P. Some of you guys might know Abby P. We haven't met yet, but we've, we'll talk here and there, and so we've mentioned early on that we want to collab, and so we just got to make that happen. We just live in different cities, and so it's a little difficult. But check out Abby P as well. So she's blowing up right now, actually. So she has a really good channel. Yeah, there's others that I can't really think off the top of my head, but there's a handful of YouTubers that are still epic teachers that I've met. So 88 Rising. Have I heard of 88 Rising? That sounds familiar, but I don't know. It's not really ringing a bell. Let's see. Thank you so much. Let's see. Ekaterina. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Edo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. My favorite video of all time is a documentary of you growing up Black and Korean. Thank you so much. That's actually my favorite video as well. That was my favorite video to put together, as you can imagine, because it has very emotional and sentimental value for me. Just to be able to tell my life story and just to go through all of that footage. If by chance you guys haven't seen my video growing up Black and Korean, definitely check that out, because I tell the story of how my life is growing up multicultural, and I try to do it in a storytelling way, just kind of a documentary look of my life. And so it's just a 15-minute video, but I think it resonated with a lot of people. So that is my favorite video as well, and you get to meet my father through that video, and so I really love it. Really love it. When are you coming back to the States, Chris Park? I am hoping to make a short trip back sometime in February, right at the end of my contract, or right at the end of me working. I want to be able to make a short trip back. I don't think I could do a super long trip because I've got some stuff going on here, but I'm going to try to make it back in February, just for at least a week. So. Jackie, thank you. Yeah, it's the genetics, and plus I work out like all the time, so I think that's helped in keeping me young looking. So, but I gotta thank my parents. Y'all, my mom. If you guys don't know, if you didn't do the math, she is almost 70. She is almost freaking 70 years old. She looks so good for her age. Let's see, Renee. I also found you through Xander and Happy, and can't wait to see your journey. Oh, I appreciate it, Renee. Yeah, very excited, very excited. Sky City, are you going to get into acting and talk shows if a door opens up? Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. So that's one of the things that I want to do, is I do want to get into acting. That's not my main focus now, but if the door opens up, then yes. But I do want to get on like talk shows and do some radio work. I want to get my hand and experience in different things in that field. So yes, absolutely. Yeah, Dia, for sure. It's obviously really natural to be nervous about moving to Korea. It's a whole other country, probably on the other side of the world for you, I'm assuming. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, but it's natural, and I think it will be an awesome experience. So once you get here, you'll see that it's probably better than you would imagine. I would assume so. So I'm excited for you. Hello, Chingu. Cyrene, what's up? Ah, Cyrene, I think she left already. Goodbye, Chingu. Okay, goodbye. Cyrene is an epic teacher as well. In Daejeon with me, so. All right, looks like Edo left. Oh yeah, Jackie, Chen and Peyton. Yeah, I've met them as well several times. So we hung out at different events, and they were in Daejeon as well when I first moved there, but now they're in Seoul. But yeah, I think I saw them 2 months ago as well. So yeah, they're cool. Maria, is there a dance club in Korea that is appropriate for 30-somethings? One thing about Seoul especially is I would say the 3 biggest areas for clubs would be definitely Hongdae, which is more just near Hongdae, Hongikdae Hakyo, which is one of the major universities there. And so that has a very young crowd, but you see a lot of like old people that go there. You see a lot of creepy people that are like 50 sometimes that go there. But yeah, there are a lot of clubs out there where I know there are a few clubs that don't let people in that are like over 30. I actually got in one because I like smooth talk the bouncer dude. I was like, look, man, just let me in. I look young, right? So he eventually let me in, but they check your IDs. But there are a lot of clubs that um, there isn't really an age restriction to my knowledge, and so you can get in, and there's like a wide range of different age groups. So yeah, you have Hongdae, and then you have Itaewon. I've been out there maybe twice to different places, and then you have Gangnam, and there's some other places with clubs too, but I think those are the big three. So yeah, there's different places for 30 somethings. Let's see. Higher living, thank you. Yeah, looking forward to 2019. It's going to be a really good year, I'll tell you that. And a lot of good things for me and some of my close friends, and so be on the lookout for that. So as a matter of fact, let me get through a few more of your questions, and then I'll just kind of give you guys a quick update on me, and then get back to some more questions. So what time is it there now? So right now it is 12:17 p.m. So 12:17 in the afternoon. Yep, just like Mer Galaxy said. So Craig's listing, thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's one of my favorite videos as well. The video that I did with my mom. So very special. And just for me to be able to interview her, that was super special. That was super special. So I've got another video that I think I'm gonna release probably the 1st of January, or at least the first week of January. I'm not sure when I'm gonna do that yet, but it's another video with my mom, with me interviewing her, and it's about a different topic. So I'm very excited to share that, but I think I'm gonna wait until the beginning of the year to release that one. So yeah, watching Men on a Mission has taught me a lot of social and some cultural things too. Yes, for sure, for sure. If you're tall, I think you could be a fashion model. Yeah, I'm hoping to get into some modeling stuff too. I'm hoping that my age isn't really an issue. And from what I hear with guys, it shouldn't be, but modeling would be pretty cool too. So I just want to do everything. Do you have a favorite cafe or one that you always visit and fall back on? I do. There's a cafe in Daejeon, and it's called Seven Factory. And I like it because it's on a 15th floor, and there's a balcony area where you can go out and just kind of get a nice view of the city. And whenever the sun sets, it sets over the mountains because you have the city that you can see, and then the mountains right behind it. As a matter of fact, I have a picture on Instagram where I took a picture from that balcony, and so it's like absolutely beautiful, especially during sunset. So that's my favorite spot to go to. And the coffee's okay, but I go for the atmosphere mostly. Do you have time to watch Korean TV? If yes, what do you usually watch? Right now, I don't really have too much time to watch Korean TV, so I'll cut on the TV just to have it in the background, or like if I'm eating, I'll watch Korean TV, and I'll just watch different shows, and I watch shows on Netflix. But as of right now, I haven't gotten into anything specifically, just mostly because of time, and I can't really commit to a show right now because I'm gonna have to keep watching it. So yeah. All right. Have you solo traveled around Korea at all? I'm planning to solo travel a lot during winter vacation, and I'd love some tips. I have not solo traveled, mostly because of time. I spend most of my weekends coming up to Seoul, and that's because of the things that I've got going on up here as well. So, but I have gone to I've gone to Busan with my mom recently, obviously. But that was with my mom. I also I visited Chuncheon, which is a really beautiful area. I visited that with my friend when I did Spartan race, and that would be a good area. But outside of that, I haven't really traveled yet. So sorry, I can't really give you a lot of tips, but I have a friend who, and she was in one of my videos. She's an epic teacher and in Daejeon with me. Her name is Selena, and so I know that if you go to one of my videos where we give advice to epic teachers. This is like a couple of months back. Um, yeah, I think I linked her social media, but she does a lot of solo traveling, and I think she has a public profile, so you can see her pictures. She does solo traveling and also like traveling with her friends, but she's gone to like everywhere in Korea. She's only been here for like right under a year, so she would be someone to definitely ask. So, Sun Ray, I do not have a girlfriend, not yet. I do plan on traveling. I don't know if I want to do solo travel outside of the country. I think I would rather travel with my friends or a significant other. And the reason is because this past summer I went to Japan for a few days, and I went by myself because I had a little bit of vacation time to use, and I've never been to Japan. And so I went to Tokyo, and I went by myself, and it was cool because when you travel by yourself, you don't have to worry about anyone else. You don't have to worry about what they want to eat, what they want to do. But for me, it was a little boring at times. You know what I mean? I didn't have anyone else to share that experience with, and so I kind of made it a photography trip and just like went to different spots and just worked on my photography. Um, but yeah, I don't know if I want to do solo traveling, but I do want to travel, and I'd rather travel with people. So but yeah, so these are awesome questions. So let me give you guys just a little bit of an update on what's been going on with me, and since you guys tuned into the live stream, I'll give you guys, I guess, a head start on finding out about some of this stuff. But so as you know, I'm in Daejeon, and I've kind of made mention that I plan on moving to Seoul, and so so right now my plan is to relocate to Seoul and to pursue a lot of the things that I came here initially to pursue outside of teaching, which is different things in entertainment and also music, and also growing my YouTube channel. So um, I came to Korea with the intent of really growing this YouTube channel, and not only growing the channel, but growing my brand, if that makes sense, or me as a brand, and just me growing my brand to be known as, a brand that supports Korean culture and that educates people on Korean culture. And also, I want to share my experiences in Korea. So that's one of my focuses, and I want to be able to focus on that more next year because let me tell y'all, this year has been super crazy. Like I've been team no sleep this year because I had made mention earlier that my job, my hours are a lot longer than the average epic teacher. And so I'm working Monday through Friday, on average 9 to 6, sometimes 9 to 9, getting home at 10. But I still have to do a video. And now, don't get me wrong, I feel like I have to get the video out, but I want to get the video out as well because it's something I'm passionate about. And so during camp times, there's very little break in between, very little desk warming is what we call it, where we have a little bit of downtime. And so I'm having to edit video outside of work. So I'll get home and then I'll edit a video, and I'll do that every day and then try to have it uploaded by the weekend. And so that's kind of been my life for the most part, and here and there being able to hang out. And so it's been very difficult to try to focus on growing this channel. And I'm very proud of the growth so far, almost at 25,000 subscribers, and that's insane. And so I think we'll be able to hit that before the end of the year. But yeah, like I want to be able to focus more on this channel and have more time to do that because it takes a lot of time for, at least for me, to edit video and to get quality content out. And hopefully you guys can appreciate that. I don't want to just like throw out junk. I want my quality to be the best. And so that's what I want to focus on next year. So with me moving to Seoul, I've also got some exciting stuff going on. If you guys noticed in the last video, the mukbang video, where I was eating duck with some of the boys, with Alex and Xander and Happy, we were in a nice little studio set, right? So that wasn't a real kitchen. If you guys thought it was a real kitchen, then good on us. But that was actually a studio set, and so the cat's kind of out the bag now, I think, and we made a lot of like references in the video, but yeah, I just got a studio space with those guys, and that's one of our projects that we're working on next year. So we've got a new studio space where we not only have a place for us to record our video and our content, but we also have a space for other creators here in Korea to come and to use as well. So that's one of the big plans that we have for 2019. So the last few months, we've been working on that, getting that renovated, because when we moved in, it was like bare bones, nothing, no carpet, nothing on the wall. And so we kind of had all hands on deck, and I did the best I could with coming up to Seoul to help as much as possible, but I'm in Daejeon throughout the week. But a lot of the other guys, they've really just like put a lot of work into soundproofing the place. We got carpet in there. Now we're building the sets, and we're doing everything ourselves. So yeah, we've got this awesome studio space that we're setting up. And yeah, I think at the beginning of the year, once things are up and running, man, we're gonna do some crazy damage in YouTube. So not only with our own channels, but we're looking at just actually doing more stuff together as a group of 4 guys. So we're currently brainstorming. So be on the lookout for that, because that's going to be pretty exciting. And yeah, I mean, we eventually want to like host events. We want to run parties, and we also want to do like training and stuff for that, like that with other content creators who may not know how to get the best quality out of their content. We want to do training and stuff like that. So yeah. So that's some of the stuff that we're working on right now. And I think I'll just kind of leave it at that, because yeah, we've got some crazy plans. So 2019 is definitely going to be a good year. It's going to be a busy year, but it's going to require me to be in Seoul. It's going to require my time as well. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not renewing with Epic, and I don't plan on teaching full time. So I do. That's the thing right now. I have to, and I'm just, chilling with you guys, talking, just being real. I have to now figure out how I'm going to make ends meet, and I've got some ideas in place. So right now I'm just in that transition period of figuring out how I'm going to, not only transition, but, some of the I guess, ways I'm going to make income, because, yeah, starting a business is, as some of you guys might know, is not easy. And, when you first start, it's sometimes difficult because you start in the red, right? So our main focus is to climb into the black at first. So I'm going to need to, find some other stuff to get into. So yeah, so that's kind of one of the bigger plans that I have for next year. And so that's a big life update for you. So I appreciate the comments, guys. Yeah, thank you so much. Listen, does that sink work in the studio?
You can put plates in it, yeah.
Yeah. It's a real sink and a real faucet that's not hooked up to anything. It does not work, no. So, yeah, it's funny. And we kind of realized after we did that mukbang, funny story is like, because we went out and we bought like plates and, some like silverware, and we realized, crap, we have no way to wash the dishes. So after we ate, like we literally like had to wash the dishes in the bathroom. So yeah, I think our next studio, we need to rethink our kitchen set strategy. So, but yeah. So how'd you guys think of the kitchen? Did you guys like it? We were very excited about how it turned out. We literally, right before we shot, we finished up. Like we finished everything. Like we were scrambling to get things done for the video, so pretty much done. And Xander, he's done a lot with like the lighting. So actually he's added some extra stuff since that video. So excited to show you guys that. Can your friend say hi? Alex, come and say hi. Yo, Mika says check your phone.
Check my phone or check your phone?
Check, I guess, your phone.
Well,
I'm using it. Oh, I'm using it, Mika.
Yeah,
This is
what's up,
Alex.
guys? Fun story about that mukbang. Cedric had to delay his ticket back an hour because we were still finishing the kitchen. So
Yeah,
dedication. Got back
Yeah.
at like what, 1 o'clock at your
Yeah.
house that day?
actually 1:30.
Ooh.
1:30 in the morning. Yeah, I had to get back to Daejeon from Seoul. So we started shooting right after 9
Yeah,
p.m.
and we finished in an hour.
Yeah.
And then we cleaned the dishes. He ran to the
Right,
train
right.
station.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
we're good.
So apparently my sister wants to call.
We're
I don't know
good.
if that's working.
There we go. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Alex is cute also. Cute, man. He is cute. Yeah. That was funny. But we had so much fun shooting that. And I think it was a 12-minute video. But
yeah, that was long.
it literally was 50 minutes of us talking and eating. So that's how long the footage was. So I had to edit down 50 minutes to the 12 or 13 minutes that it was. So so there was like so many parts that I kind of left out, but yeah, it was fun. I think we had good chemistry.
We're gonna make some really good food videos for sure.
Right.
That
right.
camera work, the
Yeah.
slow motion eating. Dang.
For sure.
So yeah, hi everyone. We're gonna work together from next year, and my name is Alex. For those who don't know, but the studio that we built, right now we're finishing up also the soundproof room. We're the music guys of the crew, and so we really want to jump into that. So yes, he will be getting his music chops on,
Yep.
and I'll be fixing my producing chops as well, because I'm not a phenomenal singer, so I'm gonna work on my auto-tune skills and work on that. T-paint it
Right.
to make it work. So that's more. Was that secret? I don't remember.
No.
Yo, we kept the secret for the longest time, and then Xander was just like, "Yeah, we're keeping a
Insta
secret."
story, Insta
Insta
story.
story. Fixing the studio. We're like, what up?
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna be a sick studio. It already is. So yeah, now we gotta fix up like the podcast area and a few of the extra sets, and then lots of content.
Yeah, for sure.
Gonna get him to speak Korean on camera too. So make sure you find that probably starting next year, early on, probably
for sure.
early January.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Pressure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hi guys. I'm gonna let him finish his chat.
Yeah.
Nice to meet y'all. Find me later on his stuff. See you guys.
Cool. Thanks, man. Mika, yes, 2 p.m. is still up. So
Okay.
actually text my phone, Mika, if you can. So we've got Mika in Korea, who's in the chat. So we've got a video shoot for his channel that we got to do today. So okay, there we go. Yep. So let me just. Yeah, Mika, don't worry. 2 o'clock is still good. So yeah, just text me the place and the plan, and we'll make it happen. So y'all check out Mika's channel as well. So Mika is one of our very good friends here in Korea. He's a YouTuber, and he does actually a lot of what we did with the mukbang video with the duck is inspired from him, because he's the mukbang king. He's the foreigner mukbang king. And so, yeah, his channel is guaranteed to make you extremely hungry. So, yeah, definitely check that out. Check him out, Mika in Korea. Let's see here. Yeah, so that's kind of the biggest plan for 2019. Yeah. Oh, I appreciate the comments. Yeah, so excited to show you guys. Let's see. I want to get to a few more of your questions, but let me see if there's anything else that I want to let you guys know. Yeah, so outside of that, I'll be moving to Seoul, like I said, and also I do want to live stream a lot more consistently. And so one thing that I've noticed with my videos, and I kind of knew this like this whole time, but a lot of my earlier videos, I did a lot of vlogs, right? And I did a lot of videos where I would kind of talk to you guys and just kind of give you more of a personal look. And I think my more recent videos have been more like topical discussion videos, and I still want to do those. I love doing those. But I've noticed that I haven't been able to connect with you guys on a personal level through some of my videos like I used to. And so I don't know how I want to fix that, because I want you guys to I want to stay personally connected with you guys, and I want you guys to continue to, feel like you know me. And so I don't know how I want to fix that. I mean, I do want to do vlogs. I love doing vlogs, but I think with how my life has been right now, and just how busy I've been, it's been very difficult to get out and do something interesting. So hopefully next year that'll change, because I'll be in a different place. Hopefully I'll have a little bit more time. But I think live streaming would be a very good way to just stay connected on a personal level with you guys. And so yeah, I'm gonna plan on doing that a lot more consistently. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, I think, as far as like the life updates. And of course, you guys are gonna see it unfold. You'll see the good, and you'll probably see the bad and the ugly as well, because life is not easy, and life never happens the way you want it to happen. But I do know this: with if you're surrounded by good people that are driven and motivated and have a lot of ambition, and we could push each other, like, we're gonna be fine and we're gonna be good. And I think it's just gonna be overall a very successful 2019. So be on the lookout for that. All right. So let me see if I can get into a couple of more of your questions, and then I'm gonna have to hop off the live stream here so we can get ready for a shoot. But let's see what you've got. Let's see what you got. Somebody wants you to come back, Alex. No, come back. Sorry, he's gone. I disposed of him. All right, let's see. Taishi 09, not sure how to say that, sorry. I am a Black woman married to a Vietnamese man, and we plan on trying to have kids next year. What bits of advice would you give to parents of half Black, half Asian kids? I actually recently did a video on that, so I don't know if you've gotten a chance to see it, but go to my channel, and I have a video called Advice to Parents of Mixed Race Kids. And I did that specifically in mind for people like yourself. And I came from the angle of just having grown up with my parents and seeing how they've done it. I offered some pieces of advice that worked with me and my sister, who grew up in a multicultural household. So definitely check that out. But to give you a little something to think about now, is number one, I think the biggest thing is having a positive mindset. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean like this, just positive thinking, everything is sunshine and rainbows, and just think and so everything will be type of mentality, though there's probably some merit to that. But I'm thinking more so just having a realistic perspective, but also a positive perspective, knowing that your relationship with your husband and also having like mixed race kids is valid. I think that's a big part of the success of raising the kids, knowing that you don't have to answer to anybody about why you have mixed race kids, or about your relationship with your husband. You don't have to give anyone an answer. You just know that your relationship is valid, and that your love for each other is the most important thing. So outside of that, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks. And so I definitely want to encourage you with that, and also definitely expose your kids to elements of both cultures. And as long as you don't give them pressure to like choose one side, or to feel like they have to just kind of be one over the other, but give them elements of both cultures and just kind of let them develop and grow organically into that. I think they're going to appreciate that. And so I've noticed that with obviously myself, but a lot of my mixed friends, they were exposed to both sides, and they were able to grow organically into just appreciating each culture, and just growing up and just really being prideful, or having pride in both sides. So that's definitely something that I'd encourage you to do. But yeah, definitely check that video out. I think it'll be helpful. So I go into more detail about some of this stuff, and some of the things that my father who's no longer here, but my father who used to tell me and do for me. So yeah, definitely check that out. Fire on the Planet. Sky City. I'd like to see videos on men's grooming, haircut styling in Korea, please. That's very good. I definitely want to do videos like that as well. I've always wanted to deal with topics regarding like men's fashion and also like men's grooming. And so I think that's an element of the channel that I want to incorporate as well. I just got to figure out how I'm gonna do it and when I'm gonna do it. So I can't do that right now, but I think again everything's gonna change in 2019 once I move and I don't have to work, those crazy hours anymore. So I want to like add a lot of cool stuff to the channel that I think would add value to you guys. So very very good suggestion right there. Doris, how long will I be here? If you're referring to Korea, I'm hoping for a long, long time. I'm hoping forever, hopefully. But if you're referring to the stream, probably a few more minutes. So let's see. Christine Kim, hi there. I had to step out to help my parents. I missed out a lot. I like your sweater. Hope to see more of your life. Oh, thank you so much, Christine. Yeah, this is one of my favorite sweaters. So I got it back in the States. But thank you so much, Christine. And I remember some of your comments as well that you make on the videos. And so thank you for that. So I'm excited for what's to come. And I'm definitely going to do some more live streaming as well. So I want this to be a consistent part of the channel. Are you and your mom still staying in Korea? I'm still in Korea. My mom, she lives in the United States. And so she went back to the States. And she left, I think, almost 3 weeks ago. So, but she will be visiting probably once a year, hopefully, at minimum. So, Sweet Sensation, hello, hello. Do you have any plans for Christmas? I do not. I have like zero plans for Christmas, honestly. I will be here. And probably in Daejeon, or I might even come up to Seoul. It just depends on what people have got, going on. But I don't have any plans just yet. And knowing me, if I don't have any plans, I'll probably end up editing video. So it's quite sad, I know. And I've never experienced Christmas in Korea, so it'll be interesting to see how things are around here. Christmas is, from what I hear, more of a couple holiday here in Korea versus a family holiday like back in the States. So I don't know. It might be like a normal day, but I'll definitely call my parents or I call my mom and my family and see how they're doing and hopefully FaceTime with the kiddos, my sister's kids. So let's see. Kobe, what's up, man? What's going on?
Kobe from yesterday?
No, different Kobe. Yeah, he's been a long time subscriber. Let's see. Hi from Raleigh, North Carolina. Yo, I love Raleigh. Bridget, I used to want to move to Raleigh, actually. It was either Raleigh or Charlotte. And I ended up moving to Jersey. So, yeah, I love Raleigh. Nice little chill city, for sure. Thank you, Sweet Sensation, about the hair. So, I'm curious, do you guys like this hairstyle better, the man bun, or do you like the whatever I had going on before? Let me know. I think I've gotten more positive feedback about this hairstyle. And for me, it's different and it's easier to do. Like I could just after I wash my hair, I can just comb my hair and just tie it up. But yeah, I don't know. I personally like both. I like the look of both. And it's funny because I get a lot of comments about people telling me how to do my hair, and that's fine. Like I really don't care because I'm gonna do me. But yeah, it seems like everyone likes this, so I might keep it for a while. And plus, another thing is here in Korea. Fun fact: I haven't visited a hair salon or a barber at all, and so yeah, I cut my own hair. Just take the clippers, and because I have an undercut, it's real easy. Just gotta be careful not to cut off my head. So maybe when I move to Seoul, I can find a barber. I don't trust anyone with my hair. So some of y'all know what I mean. All right, let's see. Cool, Mika. Confirm the place, man. Confirm the place.
No, I'm not doing anything. That's
Okay.
good.
Sweet sensation, you're funny. I'm glad to make you happy. Man bun, man bun. Cool, cool. Rock the man bun. Thanks, Emily. Both styles. Like both. Cool, cool. Definitely the man bun. Very nice, very nice. 한국말 할 줄 아세요? Kind of. Yeah, I can speak Korean. It's not that good. So, but 한국말 조금만 할 수 있어요. So, but yeah, it's really bad as you can see. Oh, that's another thing that I'm gonna focus on next year. I'm glad you mentioned that is improving my Korean actively, and so I'm going to spend a lot of time just working on my Korean next year and getting to a not a native level fluency, but like just conversationally fluent to where I can like talk about pretty much any practical topic. And then the following year after that, I'll focus on becoming a little bit more native level, and that's very difficult because yeah, there's like when you get really deep into Korean and you want to get native level, there's just oh my gosh, it's a whole nother world. So I'm gonna focus on just being like just conversationally everyday conversation fluent, which again I can hold a conversation now, but it's not that good. So yeah. Oh, thank you, Shihong. How's the weather there? It's super cold. As a matter of fact, it snowed. Alex, did you know it snowed?
I just saw it outside.
Yeah, it snowed overnight. Like I didn't expect it. So it's like really cold. In Fahrenheit, it's probably I want to say it's definitely below freezing. Let me check the weather right now. I got to get used to Celsius because in Korea they use Celsius. Probably like anywhere else in the world, but America tries to be different. Right now it's 35 degrees Celsius. I'm sorry, not Celsius. 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So
It's not bad. It's like 2 degrees Celsius.
yeah, it's like right above freezing, so it's not too bad.
Better than it was.
But at night it gets really cold. So Emily, you are welcome. Thank you for tuning in and doing your laundry while watching the live stream. Yeah, Alyssa, yeah, I feel you. Same level with Japanese. I feel you. So let's see. Even though your parents viewed each side equally, you said that you struggled in school regarding your identity during the teen years. With bullying being so prevalent amongst teens, what helped you? I mean, I wasn't really bullied in a not in a serious way. Not that I can remember, unless I repress those memories. But I did have teasing and things like that, but never to the point where I felt like I felt defeated or I felt like I felt like crying or anything like that. I did have that incident where I shared where my football coach, when I was a child, he deliberately would make racist comments about me and my mom, and what he would call me was Black Chinaman, knowing my mom was Korean, and the way he said it, and just the things that he used to say about just like ignorant comments about Asian people. But I mean, that was nothing like crazy. I remember it used to like, I didn't really get the weight of what he was doing at the time, but now looking back, I realize how messed up it was. But I mean, it was a different time as well. Like people can like back 20 years ago, people could say stuff like that and kind of get away with it. Versus now, people call you out on it, and so it's a little bit of a different time. But um, yeah, I don't know. Like I was never really bullied. I struggled with my identity in the sense of I went through periods of I was never really ashamed of either side, but I did get to go through a period where I think with certain friend groups, like with a lot of my black friends, um, I didn't want to show my Asian side that much. I didn't want to show my Korean side that much, and so I went through a period of time where I just kind of neglected the Korean side, at least publicly. But then when I got home, things were like normal, right? With my mom, and my mom didn't see the. I mean, she saw my attempts of, I don't know. She saw my like, how do I want to word it? My different phases, right? But she saw that from a fashion standpoint. She saw how I dressed, and that's it. She didn't see how I acted and stuff in school when I was around certain people. So, um, yeah, I did struggle with that a little bit, but I think what I can say is this: as far as bullying, I don't know, and I don't want to speak on something I don't really know, but uh, I think me having confidence in who I am and having my dad really being the guy to instill that confidence in me, because he used to always encourage me to not care about what people think, and he demonstrated that, like not in a jerkish way, but he just didn't let the opinions of people phase him, and I think that helped me a lot, especially now being older, like just knowing that when you're a kid, people's opinions can have a stronghold on you. They can um, it can really like have this certain control on you and how you think and how you act and how you feel, um, and for me, like I let the opinions of people really dictate my actions in my life, and again, keyword, I let it happen, right? um, and like if I wanted to look a certain way or appear a certain way to people, I would act a certain way that was outside of my character and feel uncomfortable. But yeah, like I don't know. I think me not having that confidence and not having that boldness really affected my identity, because I refused to just operate in who I was, and that caused a lot of like just confusion for me in my middle school and early high school years. So when my dad used to say, just don't care about what people think, um, I think it was when I got older that I began to realize the impact of that, and that's how I kind of live my life now. Like I've made mention before that I've struggled in my 20s with the opinions of people, but I think now in my 30s, I kind of give less f's, so to speak. So I think if that can be instilled in your kids when they're growing up, that's the most valuable thing. And so yeah, that's what I can offer for you, I think, in that situation. So once you have kids and once they grow older, so my dad was right. Yeah, for sure, for sure. I miss those conversations that I used to have with my dad. He would go out in the back porch and he would have a cigarette and he would just kind of read the paper, and there were times where I would just go out and just sit with him, and those were the best conversations because like we would just start talking. He would ask me questions and we would just kind of catch up, and those were the times where he would just kind of just drop those nuggets. And yeah, so I miss those times with him. But as a parent, you have so much power to instill that confidence in your kids at an early age, and I think it's a big responsibility for the parents to do that. And so yeah, what are you having for lunch? Tteokbokki. That's Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy. Tteokbokki with Mika. So, hey, Sky City, your videos are sick and helpful. I'm currently filling out my application with Epic and hope to be in Korea soon. Oh, I appreciate that, Jake. I'm glad that the videos are helpful. And yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I remember being in that situation last year. So just make sure you get that sample lesson done. That was the worst part of the application. Stupid sample lesson. Anyways. Oh, sorry, Mika. Yeah, we're not eating tteokbokki. Don't spoiler. Oh, that's a good question. Did you have any issues embracing your blackness, so to speak? You talked about your issues with your Korean identity before. I remember. Any issues? Let me think about that. Right off the bat, no, no. No, I don't think there was a period of time where I kind of like how I felt with the Asian side, just kind of being low key ashamed, at least in front of my friends, or kind of embarrassed for that period of time. I never had that with like my black side. I think a part of that was I always had just like I had a lot of black friends growing up. I had a lot of black friends in my 20s, and that changed when I moved to New Jersey because I wasn't around a lot of black people. I was around like mostly Korean people. But I never had a time where I was like having a struggle embracing my blackness. And the way I look at it is, and I'm very cautious with my words when I try to talk about this, but you know, like some people kind of expect you to like act a certain way, right? Especially when you're mixed. Like if I'm half black and half Korean, a lot of times people will have a certain expectation of, oh, if you're half black, you should kind of like act this way, talk this way, maybe dress this way. And same thing with the Korean side. And for me, what I tell people is, I am who I am, right? It's easy, and I can understand this because, you know, let's be honest, I do this too unconsciously, or I should say subconsciously sometimes, is you make a judgment on people. Let's say you watch a YouTube video, right? And you're like, oh, I found this guy on YouTube. He's a black and Korean dude. I watched a couple of his videos. It's easy to kind of make a judgment call on how you think he is as a person, right? Based off of how he dresses, how he speaks, and maybe the content that he chooses to show. I think it's easy to do that, but at the end of the day, you don't really know a person. You don't really know their story. And you don't know what they really like. You don't know what they vibe with, what they don't vibe with, right? Like, I think a lot of people would be surprised at, like, and when I say a lot of people, like, for example, like, a lot of my black brothers and sisters would probably be surprised at, like, some of the things that I vibe with, some of the things that I watch, some of the music that I used to listen to and I still listen to, some of the nuances and the jokes that I get. And the same thing with the Korean side. It's totally same thing. I think a lot of Koreans would be surprised at what I understand and the nuances of the culture. And so it's easy to make that judgment call, but you never really know. So what I like to tell people is I am who I am, right? I don't care to like display a certain image to satisfy, oh, I'm, you know, I am black and Korean. Like I am who I am, and it is what it is, but I'm black and Korean, proud to be both, and I have elements of both. And yeah, that's how I live my life. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but I think a lot of people who do grow up in the same like similar situation that I do, they could probably relate. So yeah, but that's a really good question. I appreciate that question, and I do want to talk more about it, maybe next year and maybe some of my talking videos. And that's funny because that's a topic. If you look at like my interview that I did with Cindy Wilson, who's the author, the Korean girl who got adopted by a black family, and you look in the comments, you can see such a divide on just the idea of culture and the idea of how you act and present yourself. There's such a divide, even within the same like people group. You know, like a lot of the blacks they don't agree. A lot of the Koreans they don't agree. You know what I mean? So you can't satisfy everyone. Everyone has their way of looking at it, but yeah, I try not to let that get to me. I just like I live my life. I am who I am. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I love that question. I had issues with blackness growing up, and we're the same skin tone, Alyssa. Yeah, I'm sure you have an interesting story with that too. Yeah, thank you for answering my questions. Good luck with the new plans. Oh, you're welcome, Sky. I like your name too, of course. Black Korea. Hey, Sky Seti, I just moved from Fayetteville, North Carolina to Yangju, Korea. Oh, wow. I'm assuming you're black and Korean as well, based off of your name. Man, that's cool. We were in Fayetteville, so you know Vietnam, huh? Awesome. Yangju, I don't know where that is. Where is Yangju? You don't know? Yeah, Black Korea. Where's Yangju? And how are you liking Korea, by the way? But yeah, so yeah, Taishi, I think yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. So I think you guys would be fine. Like it's all on the parents, and I think you're gonna have a beautiful family. So it's gonna be cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on just for a few more minutes, and I think we gotta head out. But yeah, there's something that I really learned, and I don't want to give too much away because like I said, I did a video with my mom on the same day that I did the her culture shock video, where I learned a lot more about how she felt in some of her experiences with raising mixed race kids, and I hear a lot about how a lot of Korean people. There are a lot of Korean people who are very traditional minded, and some of them are just plain out racist, right? Um, they don't want their Korean children to marry outside of their race, or whether it's black or whether it's like another Asian, right? There are those, and there are those that are kind of okay with it, but their concern is how the kids will grow up. Will the kids grow up having a hard time? And there's a lot of I hear that a lot, and I think there's a lot of truth to that depending on like where you grow up. Like for example, a mixed race kid in Korea will probably have a totally different, and when I say mixed race, I mean like a half Korean kid might have a totally different experience in Korea growing up in 2018 versus growing up in Fayetteville, North Carolina, versus growing up in California or New Jersey or maybe in Alabama somewhere, right? So I think it really depends on the area, and I think it's interesting because I don't want to give too much away because I want to leave for the video, but I learned that I'll say this: I learned that my mom didn't really struggle raising us at all, and besides my personal like identity struggles here and there, and they weren't even like major struggles, because I don't ever want to paint a picture of I had a hard life because I didn't. I really didn't. As far as like my culture, um, like we turned out fine, right? We didn't have any major issues at all, and my mom didn't struggle, right? So I think that's an interesting thing that I want to like begin to talk about, because I think a lot of like interracial couples, they have that concern about their kids, and their kids struggling, and I think it just depends on the situation. It depends on where you're located, but at the end of the day, I think sometimes, like if you're in an interracial relationship and you love that person, whether you're married to them or whatever, they're significant other, you want to start a family with them. I think a lot of times, what I would say is, they tend to be so concerned about how their kids grow up and they're scared. And I would just say, don't be scared as a parent. One, you never know how things will turn out. With raising your kids may not struggle depending on where they are. But two, again, going back to what I said earlier, you can instill that confidence in your kids, to where, let's just say they do struggle. In that struggle, they can learn how to deal with the conflict and learn how to overcome that. And it's easy for me to say because I don't have kids, right? But just a little something to think about, right? In life, I'm getting like a little deeper than I wanted to, but in life, right? Life is not easy, right? For anybody. Some people have easier lives than others, but we all go through things, right? But I don't think it necessarily helps anyone to like avoid conflict and avoid problems at all costs, because you're not going to know, like once you go out into the real world, you're not going to know how to deal with problems when they come up. And I think you'll tend to be weak when you deal with these problems. When problems arise, you might tend to break down versus figuring out how to solve the problem, So I think it's not a bad thing for kids to necessarily go through conflict, especially with the supportive parents. But again, that's just me throwing that out there. There's so many different layers to that and factors and variables, but yeah, I mean, take it for what it's worth. But I think it's just an interesting thing to think about because, we didn't struggle growing up. You know what I mean? And a big part of that was where we were located in a military town, but we didn't really struggle in a major way. So I think parents don't need to. Uh, I think worrying too much might not be the most helpful thing. You know what I mean? So yeah. So anyways, I'll just kind of leave it at that. But yeah, I'm excited for you guys to hear my mom's side. So oh, we got some really good comments. Black Korea, it's about 15 minutes on the expressway. I'm assuming 15 minutes from Seoul. Yeah, just reading through some of your comments real quick. Let's see. Yeah, Omuki, appreciate the response. Good. Yeah, definitely. Growing up, did you ever identify more with an ethnicity? I used to hate being half black growing up because of society, and I used to swear I was full Filipino. So I'm assuming you're half Filipino, right? Um, I think I identified more with yeah. I did go through periods where I felt like I might have identified a little bit more with like my black side. Um, but it didn't mean I didn't identify with the Korean side. I guess indulged isn't the right word, but immersed myself a little bit more with my like black friends and what they were getting into and things like that. But yeah, that's the extent of me. I guess feeling more of an identifying a little bit more with an ethnicity. But yeah, I think now I'm at a good equilibrium of just like I am who I am, and I love both, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I don't think it's about race. I think it's about culture too. I'm Mexican. I had a tough time because I didn't speak Spanish, and people gave me problems. Yes, very. I can see where you're coming from with that. Um, yeah, that can be tough too. Even if you're like within your own ethnicity and your own culture. Um, for example, I know that Korean American. I have a lot of Korean American friends. Some that can speak Korean and some that can't. And sometimes like the way that the Korean Americans are looked at by other Koreans are kind of like negative because oh you can't speak Korean. So I've seen them kind of struggle with that versus the Korean Americans who can speak Korean at least fluently, conversationally. So um, yeah, I can kind of see that as well. Jeannie, thank you for joining. Happy to answer your question. Alyssa Yongin or Yongjin. I don't even know what that is. I haven't been. Let's see. Yongin? Yeah, do you know Yongin? I don't know if that was for me, but
Yongin, that's where Everland is.
oh, that's where Everland is. Oh, okay. I've been to Everland then. Cool. I think I'm let's see. I'm just going through the rest of the comments, and then I'm have to hop off here. But man, this has been a lot more fun than I thought. So let's see. Jackie M says, "I wish you and Alex an amazing 2019, and you both accomplish your goals and your projects are very successful." And video idea, favorite cafe with awesome atmosphere and sunset. I like that. I need to do that, especially before I move. Yeah. Black Korea says different cultures trying to put themselves in a box. If you're black, you have to talk and act a certain way. If you don't do these stereotypical things, they say you're not black enough. Absolutely. And I have home videos, by the way. Fun fact, I have home videos of when I was 15, 16. I have like home videos for days, if you guys couldn't tell. Obviously, most that I haven't released, but I have videos of me through. I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to like make a video where I went through my, and I don't want people to take offense to this, but I went through like me identifying more with my black side and like the way I used to talk and act, which was totally not me, by the way. I was just trying to be like someone that I wasn't and just very cool. Like, I felt that pressure to like, I had to be hood, I had to be black. And the way I used to talk it's so cringy looking at it, but I talk completely different. And yeah, you guys would be probably shocked compared to how I am now. So I'm gonna share that one day. See. Dia, thank you so much. You're welcome as well. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Jackie, I want to see the sunset. Haha. Yeah, check it out on my Instagram if you haven't seen it. I mean, a picture is not like being there in person or a video, but it's there. So I posted it a few months ago. Rahul, I'm from India. Hello. Hello to India. Oh, Nay, appreciate it. I hope you have a good night too. Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely gonna do more live videos, especially after how today went. It's really cool. Really cool. So, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream, and yeah, this is the first time doing it, so thank you for like being very patient with me, especially through the technical difficulties. But I think some of my future live streams, what I want to do is I want to use my DSLR, so I got to figure out how to set that up, and so that way it'll be just easier for you guys to look at and just better quality. But I hopefully get a microphone to use for it as well. But even if I don't, I think it's cool because we're just chilling, right? Just chilling together. So anyways, yeah, I'll plan on doing some more live streams. As of right now, I'm not gonna like have a schedule in mind and try to commit to it. I'm just gonna see how things go, and then hopefully at a certain point I can like schedule live streams maybe once a week or even twice a week, depending on the schedule. But yeah, maybe I can get one in next week or so. So we'll see. But yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys for listening to my life updates, and thank you guys for the support as well. So I'm very excited, and yeah, so continue watching the videos, and I hope to continue to add value to you guys through the videos, and again, keep an eye out for some of the exciting things that we've got going on. So anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with that. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys, and enjoy the rest of your day and your nights wherever you are in the world. So, all right. So I'll see you guys.
Seize the day. Don't forget it.
Bye, guys.